All right, I am calling to order the Tuesday, January 21st meeting of the Art and Culture Commission. It is 12:33, and I would like to start with the land acknowledgement. The land that Eureka rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Jaojiji. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments removed the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threatened to destroy their cultural practices. The City of Eureka acknowledges the Wiyot community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates the city's commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Roll call.
Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Topping-Adams?
Here.
Commissioner Haar?
Here.
Commissioner Vielbeek?
Here.
And who are we missing?
We're missing Marnie.
Okay.
Commissioner Atkins.
Commissioner Atkins, thank you.
All right, moving on to election of officers.
Okay, so it is under your discretion to choose your officers. You'll need to nominate and vote on a chair and a vice chair, and then the selected chair will take the chair seat and run the rest of the meeting.
All right, no pressure. I've been vice chairing for a while, which I'm fine with, but I'm fine with whatever happens. So if anyone has like big thoughts on this, go for it.
Would you be comfortable moving up to chair?
I'm not uncomfortable moving up to chair. Does somebody want to vice chair?
I would nominate Bernadette for vice chair.
I would say I've not been with you guys long enough to do that. Maybe next round.
I mean, Jemima's been here, I believe, longer than I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't
actually
join at the
think-
same time, did we?
I think we did.
Did we? That's shocking.
2018.
What? Okay. And also, I mean, there's a whopping 4 of us here today, so
50-50, guys.
Calder, do you have any particular thoughts?
Honestly, I'm trying to scale back my commitments to various groups, so I probably duck this round.
I will say that as the vice chair for as long as I've been vice chair, I have been in this seat of running the meeting maybe 3 times. And I think missed even fewer meetings than that. So if that helps, that if that helps talk anyone into the position.
Maybe we need to discuss the duties of the position.
Is there something written down about this, Sarah? Is there more than what we know from just sitting here?
Not really. Essentially, the vice chair just covers when the chair is not here. So,
And the chair's duties is primarily just running the meeting.
running the meeting. Yeah, that's, and, you know, we kind of help you along as you go in case you get like,
Yes,
you know,
you do.
the next meeting, Monica wouldn't be here. We would be able to say, okay, no, you can't do that. You have to wait for, you know, the
Public comment.
yes, thank you. That's the one I always forget.
Okay, then if there's not an added workload, as my life is overwhelming right now as well, I will throw my hat in the ring for vice chair if you will put your hat on for chair.
And
I
if
was
somebody
thinking the
has to
same
make the
thing.
nomination for the both of you at the same time, we can do the whole vote at once.
All right. Can somebody make a movement? A motion? What am I supposed
That's
to remember
different.
this word now? What?
Yes. All right. I would like to make a motion that we nominate Monica Topping as chair and Monica Topping Adams and Bernadette Vilbig as vice chair.
Do we have a second?
Oh, I second that.
Do we have any public comment? All right. Then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah,
Are we allowed to vote for ourselves?
yeah.
All right. And any nays? Nope. All right. I guess I'm going to stay sitting here.
Really quickly, I just make sure that we're making sure that the public process is totally open. We do have somebody on Zoom, and so I just want to make sure that we're giving appropriate time for public comment and making sure that if somebody on Zoom wanted to make a public comment, they could raise their hand.
Excellent.
But I'm not seeing anybody raise their hand.
All right. Thank you. Okay, looks like we are moving along to approval of minutes from the Art and Culture Commission on October 15th, 2024. I did notice a couple of spelling issues in there, and Jessica, I left a post-it over there by your spot. One is North Coast Repertory Theater, and the other is Deanna Lovu.
Thank you so much, because I really don't spend enough time in the art community to have all those down by
got
memory.
you.
So
It's all good. The thought was there. I just thought for posterity we should probably spell things like people's names should be spelled.
because usually I'm over here looking them up online as you're giving them out if I don't know who they are. So that's I'm not sure how I got repertory wrong, but
It's a lot of my multitasking.
yeah. So just somebody just has to make the motion with accepted spelling changes, and we're good.
Okay. Did anyone else have anything they noticed on those minutes? Nope. Okay, so can someone move?
I make a motion that we update these spelling errors on the minutes from the October 15th meeting. Is there a second?
And otherwise
I'll second that.
Approve the minutes?
Yes, and otherwise approve the minutes. Thank you.
And it looks like, did you just
Yes,
second?
I seconded that.
Excellent. Any public comment on this? And Zoom? No hands? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. So that was everybody. All right. We're moving along. Look at us go. Old business, Artists of the Month program update.
Okay, I'll be presenting this to you. Please give me one moment to pull up the presentation. Okay, if you'll recall, at our last meeting last year, we discussed changing the Artist of the Month program to, instead of choosing one artist a month, meaning 12 artists a year, to highlight, we changed it to the Artist Spotlight program, where this commission will select 4 artists to highlight throughout the year. The mayor selected their Artist of the Year from the 12, and our mayor will still continue to select their Artist of the Year from these 4. So she will be announcing her selection of the 2024 Artist of the Year, I would imagine within the next month, and then she'll announce her 2025 Artist of the Year from this pool in 2026, early 2026. This Artist of Spotlight program uses the same nomination and selection criteria that the Artist of the Month program used. So for those who may not be familiar with the criteria, the nomination criteria goes as follows. And in order to be nominated, an artist must either 1, be nominated by a member of the community via an official Artist of the Month nomination form, or 2, be an artist that has completed a utility art box, or 3, be an artist who participated in the Eureka Street Art Festival, or 4, be nominated by the Arts and Culture Commission. And the criteria for selection: 1 or more of the following criteria shall be used in the selection of the artist. 1 is a small, new startup artist that could use help with publicity. 2 is a unique or innovative artist that could put Eureka on the map. 3 deserves to be recognized for an outstanding contribution to the community. 4 has initiated outstanding partnerships, collaboration, and or joint marketing with other artists and or organizations. 5 consistently promotes and markets Eureka Eureka's art community in a positive light with efforts that reach beyond our region. 6, has displayed art or performed in prominent galleries or venues outside of Eureka. 7, demonstrates creativity and imagination in an artistic expression. 8, has created a new and innovative art form, a form of art, or has pushed an existing medium to new levels. And 9, is a significant contributor to Arts Alive and other art-related events in Eureka. So that leaves you with a discussion and a task to select 4 artists for the Spotlight Artists of the Year for Eureka for 2025. And a reminder of what that means to be a Spotlight Artist. It means that Eureka will highlight them throughout the year, connect with them when they have events coming up, share it on social media, share their bio on the website. Very similar to what we did with Artist of the Month, but a little bit more attention because we have less of them. I believe this commission, when they were discussing about the Artist Spotlight program, discussed artists that had potentially received Artist of the Month recognition. In the past, we haven't always done a consistent job of recognizing our Artist of the Month. So even though they may have been recognized as Artist of the Month, they may have not gotten quite as much attention as we may desire. And so it would still be an appropriate choice for Artist Spotlight.
Well, and if I recall, did we not also discuss potential of arts organizations, which might mean more artists that are involved, but one sort of umbrella spotlight organization?
If the commission feels that an art organization meets the criteria that we have, then I think that's something that you can discuss and decide.
I keep going back to, and I've been thinking about this since our October meeting. I want to figure out how to get some recognition for the live art walls. Are you familiar with this? If you, probably their most notorious location is the below the library up against Halverson Park. Last year they did a repaint and had organized over 20 artists to do new murals during CanaFest. And I went and spoke with some of the artists, and none of them got paid. There was one vendor locally, Epitome Gallery, gave a discount for products for them if they were involved in it. The organizer, Phyllis, was seeking donations of paint. They did the primer and got donations of primer before the artists took the walls. But I mean, the fact that they've been doing this, just scraping by with nothing, I think deserves some form of recognition. And I did a little digging, but there's not a big presence, and I don't know if it's because it is so grassroots and bare bones in how it's run. But so my big question would be: is there an ability to get information from the organizer to use for promotion? And I don't know what else you guys might have come up with, but that's the thing that has been sort of sitting with me that I would love to throw out there.
So Live Art Walls is a Dreammaker project of the Ink people. So I'm sure we could probably rustle up some information, or rustle up some more information from Phyllis. I feel like it's a good chance that Phyllis would love more attention on this, because attention hopefully means more public support for it. Yes, funding, support. I think that's a lovely idea. I know that last meeting, one of the ideas that was floated for this also was NCRT.
Yeah, regarding that, I mean, obviously, one, I would be recusing myself from that particular decision as executive director. But also, I mean, for me, like, even thinking more about that idea, since, you know, Commissioner Atkins was kind enough to put us on the nomination list there, that, well, first off, in terms of, like, really trying to look at the scope of arts organizations that operate in Eureka, thinking about, I mean, just including, right, our roommates now, Redwood Curtain Theater, and all the work they do now and the space we share together, and also all the other collaborations with other artist organizations, including the Ink people, Synapsis Union. I just would be hard pressed to say, particularly if we're going to do a new process wherein organizations are considered for nomination. I personally hesitate, just because of my position, to say, hey, NCRT should go first on that. And secondly, I'm also just somewhat adverse to even the idea of necessarily picking out one organization in particular to spotlight. I think that perhaps that is opening up a larger conversation, though, about how the city of Eureka might be able to direct attention overall to all the amazing organizations that foster arts and make the arts possible in the community and all the benefits that those bring. That's my thought on that.
Thank you, Calder. Moving past that portion, another one that's another individual artist actually that's been on my radar a lot lately is Ben Goulart, who is a mural artist. And I first and foremost want to acknowledge that I am a person who is far more familiar with the visual arts in our area than like performing arts and the various other types of art. So I want to make sure we don't forget inadvertently that there are so many other types of artists around here. But I've been seeing a lot of Ben, working on a lot of murals, a lot of community work around here. So I want to throw that out there as one of our options.
I would second that. I think Ben does amazing work, not just as an artist, but as a community member and as an example of an artist out there really hustling. And I also, of course, agree with you, too, that I think that particularly if we're just looking at these 4 spotlit artists, it's definitely very important to look at the spread of disciplines that are being engaged with that. That's just one of the reasons looking at some of my own nominations again, I was reminding myself, oh, right, those are the people I nominated. But thinking about like both film and also writing, creative writing, whether it's poetry or other forms of creative writing, that those are all, we've done much better job, and I thank everyone for that, for the performing arts recently, but also still film and creative writing are a couple of areas that I think we could continue to make sure we're nominating artists in.
Sorry, I was just looking at the minutes from last month, trying to be reminded, because last meeting not last month, but we did a whole lot of months of last year all at the same time, and just confirming for my own brain that Cassandra Hesseltine from the Humboldt Del Norte Film Commission was in there. Also a very good point. So, and we also had Young and Lovely performers in the last batch. But I would love to hear, so far the ones that have been floated are Live Art Walls as a program, and Ben Goulart. We have 2 other quarters to suss out here. Though we do also have the option of coming back to this. Now, this is Sarah, yes?
Sorry to interrupt. The intention of this program is to highlight all 4 artists for the full year.
Okay.
We're not off the hook. We got to do this
No
now.
pressure. All right. So, yeah, other ideas.
To the chair.
Oh,
sorry.
Leslie, sorry.
Just a clarifying question. Some of the artists, you did mention an artist specifically with the Live Art Walls program that I'm imagining as part of this artist highlight would include the organizations or projects that they're associated with. So that may be a way of speaking to organizations or specific projects that you feel deserve more attention.
Like Live Art Walls, a Dream Maker project of the Ink people. Is that where we're going? Okay. Thanks, Leslie. All right. Other thoughts?
This doesn't necessarily fit into the organizational umbrella, but this year is the 25th anniversary of the Morris Graves Museum of Art. So on January 1st, 2000, we opened the doors to the museum, the only art museum in the city of Eureka. So it's not necessarily, and I, of course, would recuse myself since I am the executive director and curator, but it is a big year and a big celebration for us, and we're really, really fortunate to have such an amazing treasure here in Eureka. So that's just my thought.
That's huge. Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a big deal. Yeah, especially like through a pandemic and things. All right. We are way too creative of a community to be stalling out. Trying to come up with 4 artists or organizations, programs to highlight during the 2025 year. I would love more thoughts on the performance related side.
Performance related side, I mean, I'm looking at here your not first of your nominations, Monica. I mean, I think that Olivia Gambino, particularly in her role as Rutabaga Queen recently here, has really stepped up in terms of this kind of like what we're talking about here in terms of community engagement, engagement with the city of Eureka. I mean, I think that's definitely modeling the kind of practice you'd want to see from artists who are really engaging with their communities in that sort of way. So I think in the performance arts category, I think that would be my choice.
Mm-hmm. And if you've ever seen her perform, she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I know she was part of the batch of artists included for the Artist of the Month in the last meeting, but starting this new promotional process, we're not discounting that. So I think this is a great time to highlight Olivia and the work that she's doing, because it's going so far beyond herself as a performer. Just she counts herself as part of the greater community, promotes a lot of other organizations and performers while she's doing what she's doing.
Agreed.
Okay. I am so far hearing Olympia Gambino, Live Art Walls, and Ben Goulart. And all of a sudden,
Are we taking NCRT off the table? You don't get to answer that.
I don't think we're necessarily taking NCRT off the table. I feel like what I was hearing from Calder, and you can definitely confirm this, is that you didn't necessarily feel comfortable having it in the first batch, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think that,
Okay.
Just opening it up to organizations, to me, like when, I don't know, like my process brain sort of clocks in at that point. I'm like, oh, but like we're changing things. So what does this mean? And if we're navigating that process, then I just think it would be just fair and reasonable for it to not to not be part of that round.
Okay. That's fair.
Through the chair.
Yes.
And not to dissuade you from voting on NCRT, but if you were to vote on NCRT, we would need to, we would not have a quorum in order to hold that vote if Calder recused himself. So we would need to hold a special meeting to consider that item.
So think about that before. Do you want a special meeting? This is how we get special meetings.
This is... What is our quorum?
4.
4.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Then I've got a thing to come back to after this, then.
Is anyone tapped into the poet community or locally?
Yeah, that's the way David Holper was on the list here.
Okay.
And I think, I definitely think there's some other options, however, though, certainly. Leslie, it looked like you were heading to the mic.
We do have on this agenda the Poet Laureate program, which will be featuring a poet throughout the year. Not to
Okay.
say there couldn't also be a poet as part of this. And then just for clarification, when you say if you're taking the organization off the radar for right now, are you talking about Phyllis Barba specifically for the Live Art Walls, nominating her, or are you talking about?
No, we're talking about NCRT specifically, I think.
Well, no, I know,
Oh.
but also Eureka Live Art Walls as a Dreammaker project of the Ink people would also prevent quorum from happening.
Yeah.
Oh, I see where you're going with that.
Yes.
You're suggesting I cannot vote.
Right. Yeah. I
was not catching up with that.
Yeah, I guess I would go back to, I think that there's something to be said for, Leslie, the proposal that you were talking about earlier is if we stick to just nominating individual artists and then say, hey, yes, talk about your programs, talk about the stuff that you are doing in your community, because, obviously, you have her connection to the Live Arts Wall. Sorry, I forgot the name there, but connection to Live Arts Walls. Olivia is going to be talking about Kinetic Universe. There's all kinds of connections that will, carry forward from just nominating these individuals.
I think it's safe to say that I am not Kinetic Universe. I am a Rutabaga Queen, but that is not an organization in and of itself. We are not specifically part of an organization. We are all individuals. It's just kind of a club. We'll go with that. Sarah?
And through the chair, so to clarify, you could nominate Phyllis Barba as an individual artist. And additionally, when it comes to voting, there's a lot that the FPPC has to say, but a good rule of thumb is if it's in your employer. So that's where the Ink people and NCRT come in. But if you're not employed by, I'm not a lawyer, but we would have much less concern about the Kinetic Universe unless you were employed by the Kinetic Universe.
Cool. Yeah, nobody get paid
Nobody
in
at the
glory.
Kinetic Universe is paid.
Then let me just float something up here to see, just to run something up the flagpole and see what we think. What if, just to throw a slate out there, so Phyllis, Live Art Walls, Ben Goulart, I really do like that a lot. Olivia Gambino, and then if considering the Poet Laureate program, I do think I might be like, oh well, maybe then that's less of a priority. In which case, I probably would still recommend nominating Cassandra Hesseltine just to include film, which we have not done a whole lot in the past, or at all, if I recall correctly.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, that seems like a solid slate right there. So the folks that we have on the list right now is Phyllis Barba, Ben Goulart, Olivia Gambino, and Cassandra Hesseltine. Do we have a motion? Actually, can we get the motion language back?
Not yet. You have to do public comment. Then you
For
can
the
have a
motion?
motion.
Okay, do we have any public comments on this, including Zoom?
If you're interested in providing public comment via Zoom, please raise your hand.
Okay, not seeing any public comments, so now we can do the motion. Awesome. We had motion language up, I think, on the screen, and it disappeared.
What was the last slide? Nope.
That's
Go up to slide 6.
There it is.
cool. All right. Somebody like to?
Yeah, let me see if I can do the memory exercise here. Yes, I move that the Art and Culture Commission select Phyllis Barba, Ben Goulart, Olivia Gambino, and Cassandra Hesseltine as Eureka's Spotlight Artists for 2025.
I second.
All right. Now public comment? Again? No public comment?
Awesome. Well done, everybody.
Do we need any, does anyone have any thoughts before we vote? Oh, all right. And then all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. We don't have anyone against it. So I guess that we have a decision. This feels like a big success. Fantastic. Thanks everyone for digging into your brain. And Leslie, thank you for your thoughts on that. All right. So moving on to utility box art proposal review.
Give us one moment while we load up the PowerPoint. Okay. So as this commission has been participated in before, the City of Eureka has a utility box art program, and this commission is in charge of reviewing art proposals for that program and generally for art in the City of Eureka. So this is an initiative that promotes the authorized installation of artwork on utility boxes. There are over 60 boxes currently in the program. And as we've discussed at many meetings in the past, the city has a grant with Caltrans to redo the utility boxes along Highway 101. And they have requested an artist do a piece of artwork on one of these boxes. And so the commission needs to review and approve that piece. So this is the design in question. The artist is Ben Goulart, and the design is called Eureka Farmers Market. And then I have proposed motion language whenever you're ready. So your task today is to discuss and review, and if you so desire, approve.
You know the location?
Ooh, not off the top of my head.
Okay. Fair.
Question. This goes back a ways or sort of revisits a topic that we had covered quite a while ago about what the Art and Culture Commission approving art means. I mean, it was a big discussion about like First Amendment and things like that. So can we talk about that? What does it mean for us to approve art?
I'm gonna ask Swan to come up and give her input on this one. I feel like she's the expert and has navigated this question.
Hello, Commission. Well, this is a tricky one. So as of right now, we've just been asking the Commission to approve art that's on city-owned property. Caltrans has asked us to continue that process as kind of a way. Caltrans is new to art, and we are learning this all together, and their process has been very complicated. And every time that we have a piece of art, it has to be sent to their headquarters, and they have a lot of feedback. Part of the city administrating that has been helping Caltrans go through that process, and so they've asked for the commission to be part of you guys approving this artwork. So here we are. I don't have a good answer for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That actually sounds like an answer.
Okay.
Bernadette, you have a look.
No, I interpret all of this as basically this has met the criteria that the city requires. This has met the criteria that Caltrans requires. It has met the criteria that we require. Let's move it forward.
That has admittedly been kind of my reading on it the last couple times we've done this. I just wanted to kind of clarify that since it's been quite a while since we had that discussion. Does anyone have thoughts on this? Or any reason it doesn't meet our requirements?
That would be a weird take in light of our previous vote. But yeah, no, I think we could move to the motion language.
Okay. So now public comment All right. Do we have any public comment in person or on Zoom? All right.
Can you see Zoom?
I move that the
No hands raised? All right. Yeah.
I move that the Arts and Culture Commission approve the proposed design for the Utility Art Box program.
I will second.
All right. Any discussion before we vote? Nope. All right. Everyone in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. No one opposed. And this passes. Fantastic. So it seems like the next step now is for that whole catalog to go to Caltrans.
For this piece to go to Caltrans, Caltrans has the catalog. So, in discussion of this piece relevant to the Caltrans grant, yes, Caltrans is requiring review and approval of all of the art before installation can truly begin and finish. So this is to help move that along and check that box for them.
Fantastic. Thanks, Sarah. Okay, and moving along to old business, Poet Laureate Program Delegates.
Okay, well, this one does not have a presentation specifically for it. The Poet Laureate program is a program that's a partnership between the City of Eureka and the Ink people and has been in place for several years. I'm going to turn the mic over to Leslie to talk a little bit more about it. But the ask of you today is to assign 2 commissioners as delegates for the Poet Laureate program. So with that, Leslie, do you have more to add about the program?
Sure. The Poet Laureate program began in 2019. There have been 2 Poet Laureates thus far, David Holper and Will Gibson. The Poet Laureate delegate will serve on the review panel for the submissions, and so will be contributing their input along with other area poets in deciding who the next poet and youth poet laureates will be. There's 1 poet laureate will be designated and 1 to 2 youth poet laureates. And then, the Ink people provides this as a voluntary service, as a contribution to the City of Eureka. And so just kind of manages the submission process for the program. And the city manager is expecting to bring this up as part of his city manager report this evening, and at that point we would be opening it up to the public for announcement. Sorry, I should say. And the plan is to have the application process be open for a month, to then review the submissions or till the end of February, and then review the submissions and announce the next Poet Laureate for Poetry Month, which is in April.
So if I'm hearing correctly, the delegates would be reviewing in March?
Yes.
Okay.
And it would be, typically there's 8 to 15 submissions, and it's through Submittable as the portal, so it is possible to do the review from the comfort of one's home on a computer.
Leslie, I apologize if you mentioned this and I didn't hear it while I was thinking about something, but the Poet Laureate program, is that a 2-year? Okay. So they would get 25, 26, and 26, 27.
We're only selecting 25, 26.
You're only seeking delegates for this year?
Yes.
Next year will be revisited?
Well, it's a 2-year program, so we're accepting delegates for a 2-year period, and then after that it will open up again for 20.
Got it.
Yeah, up to today's 25, 26,
28,
so
yeah.
27 and 28.
Okay, 25 and 26, yeah, okay.
I could step up to do that.
Yeah,
Work.
I'd be happy to as well.
Mhm. Anyone else?
Nope, that sounds like 2 people said their names. I think we did our job.
That's such quick success on that. Okay, so that's...
So is
But
that
if 500 packets come my way, we're going to have a talk.
Surprise.
So as a business item, you should open it up for public comment and then do a motion.
Okay. Do we have any public comment on our Poet Laureate Program delegates? In person, Zoom? Not seeing any hands up. No one's rushing the microphone. Okay, so we need to make a motion. Okay. Someone needs to move. I'm gonna call her as you.
This would be like I think this is the third one. Anyway, never mind. Okay, so I move that we accept the nomination of Bernadette Vilbig and Jemima Har to act as delegates to the Poet Laureate program.
Can I second this? Do I need to second this? Okay, cool. Seconded. Any other discussion? Now's the time to back out? No? All right. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. And no one opposed. Fantastic. Thank you, both Bernadette and Jemima, for stepping up so quickly. That was fantastic. No arm twisting. Okay. We do not have any new business. So moving on to reports and communications, recognition of Susan Bloch-Welliver and Lori Goodman.
Okay, so as we've discussed throughout the meeting, there are 7 seats on this commission, and Commissioner Atkins was not able to make it today, but between this meeting and our previous meeting, we received word that Commissioner Bloch-Welliver and Commissioner Goodman both decided to step down from the commission. So the first part of this is that we want to recognize them for their tremendous contributions. So we'll be doing a proclamation with City Council, and then we want to bring back at the next meeting a little bit of a hoopla for them here to invite them to the meeting and recognize them formally. The second part of this communication is discussing our gaps on the commission. So we'll be doing some recruitment. And in the past, we've looked at the arts community and tried to pull commissioners from different segments of that community with different areas of expertise. So we would love to hear any feedback on if you think there are specific gaps, and if you know specific people that you think would be excellent additions to the commission, please connect with us and reach out. We'll be opening up that process shortly.
Can I request that you send an email to the commission when that is officially open with link and any other information that we can share out through our socials, and try and make sure we get to folks that aren't necessarily, sometimes it's not the first one that jumps into our brain. Sometimes there's little aspects of the art and culture community that we want to make sure are in there.
Absolutely. And if you have any feedback right now in terms of what you think are some gaps that you would like to see pursued, please share those.
I'm just thinking out loud here, is it appropriate to consider people we have just either today or in the near recent past nominated as Artists of the Month to be on the commission? Like, what is there a timeline or a fine line in there?
Doesn't feel inappropriate.
Right.
I'm not our legal counsel, but my general reading of the situation is that they would be new commissioners on the commission, and they would not be making any decisions about themselves. Those decisions have already been made.
Right.
So informally, I don't see an issue with it.
Just so you know, as long as there's openings on any board or commission, there is a application for appointment on the city website. When our newsletter goes out monthly, it tells you which boards and commissions have openings. So people are always willing to apply regardless of what time of the year it is.
And there will be a public process for the appointment. So it is the mayor who appoints. So it wouldn't be this commission that would be appointing the replacements.
Great. Thank you. All right, so I believe we are moving on to oral communications. So any commission members or members of the public that have anything that they want to share, I can actually pop up real quick. I am this close to switching my proverbial hat over into North Coast Open Studios season. So the event is the first 2 weekends in June, and I will be getting the word out soon about registration for that opening up. That is a county-wide community art event where last year we had 160, I think, artists register to open their studios to the public during those first 2 weekends in June. It was really an amazing participation. So I'd love to see more of that. We do not limit as far as how long someone has been doing art or what kind of art they do. In fact, I want to keep broadening the reach of the types of art that are, participating, youth, etc. In fact, we don't require a registration fee for youth participants because we really want kids to participate and get their art out there. So just putting that out there, and that'll be happening soon. Let me know if you are interested. Contact at northcoastopenstudios.com, particularly if you're not already on my email list. I'll make sure you get on there. Jemima, are there any parties for the Morris Graves anniversary?
There will be. As soon as the weather gets a little bit nicer and there's not so many crazy things going on. But we do, I think the one thing I would say is that this Saturday at 10 a.m. at the Morris Graves Museum of Art, we are hosting the Poetry Out Loud Humboldt County Finals. So we have 3 high schools throughout the county participating, and it's the finals that will then select the winner of Humboldt County that goes to the state finals in Sacramento in March. So the public is welcome. Everyone's welcome to come and attend. So.
Well, Monica, you inspired me. I'm usually terrible at this kind of promotion, but I actually it's worth noting, yes, that the North Coast Repertory Theater and Redwood Curtain, we are starting up season 2 of our conjoined season in March. With the show actually directed by Cassandra Hesseltine, actually, so that'll be cool. And yeah, I'm encouraging everyone to come check it out. Everything on the calendar currently. This is actually going to be the last year. The last season we're going to be doing with me as executive director, I believe. I'll still be hanging around the organization, but I'm finding it's time to move into more of an advisorial capacity and make the next generation of folks do some stuff. So. Encourage everyone to come check that out. I'm really looking forward to it.
I'd also just like to briefly take this opportunity to introduce you all to our new staff members. So since the last time we met, we have 2 new members of the Economic Development Communications team. We have Miguel Guerrero, who is our new communications coordinator. Miguel's going to be helping get the word out about all the good things that the city does. And then we have Madison Green, who is an economic development coordinator. She will be overseeing the Welcome Center and helping with economic development related projects, and I think some art and culture related projects. So I wanted to introduce you.
Welcome, both of you. Excellent. All right. Any other, Leslie?
Sure. The Humboldt Creative Alliance will be releasing a round of grants. These are funded from Humboldt County's TOT tax measures. The first of that round will be opening up this week with a series of 10 grants for already existing events, so events that have taken place for 2 years or more in the prior, in order to amplify and grow those events. This particular round of funding from the county for the arts and culture sector is intentionally designed to amplify tourism and visitor serving opportunities while also serving the sector. And so you will be seeing the opportunities that arise through this be oriented towards activities, events, festivals that also can reach a larger audience.
Thank you, Leslie. Okay, if we don't have anything else, Sarah, do we know what the date of our next meeting is? Don't believe that's on here.
That is a great question. I apologize that I do not have that on here. It is going to be April. Jessica, do you have that easily available, or shall I pull up the calendar?
Don't, but you forgot to close public comments.
Oh no, public comment is closed.
Just so you know. It is.
Did I just hear 15th?
of April whispered.
In the back room.
Thank you, Swan. The 15th of April.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I feel it's a real group effort here. Great. So our next Art and Culture Commission meeting will be on April 15th, 2025 in same location, City Hall, City Council Chambers. And this meeting is adjourned at 1:24 p.m.